Hello and welcome back. I don't have a lot of time to train today, so I'm going to do a short session where I work some one-arm work. One-arm work. Yeah. I'm going to do some one-arm handstand preparation stuff. I'm going to start with a little warm-up on the wall, and then from there I'll do some freestanding stuff. I'm just working on transition. I'm not actually going to one hand today, just working on transition. And so yeah, hope you enjoy this, and let's do some handstand work. So I've already actually done my shoulder warm-up prior to doing this. So I'm already warmed up. I always do my shoulder warm-up or my wrist warm-up prior to doing this, just as a habit. If you want those videos, message me, I'll show you what they are. They're very similar to someone else's that I do as well. But yeah, just message me and I'll send you some video on that. But yeah, that felt actually pretty good. It's always easier on the wall, right? The three skills that I feel are most important for me right now is a press to handstand from a pike, pike hold, or a stalter press from pike hold, a handstand push-up, and the one-arm handstand. And actually I feel the hardest one to get out of all those is going to be the handstand push-up. So anyway, I'm also complementing today's workout with some climb-up work, just so I have kind of a pull-up, pulling type exercise in the middle of first set's always slippery until you kind of get warmed up and do it. Another reason I'm working my climb up tech right now is I want to try and get to what I consider the medium level for climb ups. I filmed them about a week ago, and it took me about 20-25 seconds to do 5 climb ups, and that's because I paused in the middle of the last one and almost tripped in the middle of it, so I still counted it as my time. But my goal is to get between 10 to 15 seconds for my 5 climb ups, which I don't think is impossible for me to do. I look really red in this light. Anyway, yeah. Another trick with one-arm handstand work is you don't want to get angry because there's no point in getting angry. Getting upset is just going to make it harder to do your skill work. So right there I kind of rushed it at the beginning. Wanted to get mad at myself for wasting that rep, but really it's just, you know, how mad can you be at yourself for not being focused for your handstand, you know? If you're really not focused that day, just do something else for that day. It can still be handstand related, but maybe you're just gonna have a wall day instead of it being a floor day, right? I'm gonna do these sets, so that side with my left hand. When I come back for my next set, I'll do my right hand. And I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth like that, instead of having to have the stress of trying to go to the other side. And mentally, I'm just gonna focus on one arm for each set. second set, way better that time. Ideally, you want to try at least to be, if your fingers are on the wall, at least to be to here for a powerful climb up, for it to work well. And even more, like here. The wall's right here. If it's right here, it transfers a lot harder. So I'm trying to make sure that my pulls are at least to right here. That side was a lot better. So funny thing is that from my breakdancing work, my left arm is actually used more. My right arm is actually stronger. So it's really interesting how I feel upside down. Like I feel like I want to go to my left side more because I feel like I got better balance from all the repetitive work I've done in it. But my right side is still stronger. So this weird balance between strength and coordination that I kind of deal with when I'm up there. But I was actually quite happy with that one because I was able to get my fingers off without feeling like I was falling over. So now with this set, I'm going to do the transfer to the support position, just as a way to kind of see how I'm doing with my pulls. I'm not going to do the top out though. More shot. Nothing like in the middle of the set, losing your grip. Getting before it starts. So it's actually kind of nice doing this on a taller wall, because last week I worked this out on a 7-foot wall. This is an 8-foot wall. So I actually have to reach for the top of this a little differently. But make sure you actually go into a true hang instead of jumping up to the wall, sinking into position and going from there. Plus this wall has less grip on it too, so it's actually nice because when I transfer to the other one, I'll be even faster. So, yay for slippery walls. Sometimes it doesn't go as you planned. I'm also experimenting with closer hand position to make it easier to shift from one side to the other. So because of that also, it limits my range overhead that I can do. And I'm working on that, trying to build more range overhead. But, you know, it is what it is, right? So, I gotta work with it. Okay, so this is my last set of climb-ups. Again, this is a short workout today. And after this, I'm gonna do some intense shoulder stretching. My shoulders really need it. My upper back really needs it. So you get to experience that with me a little bit. In case you're wondering what I do with my feet, I'm wiping them on my legs so that I don't slip. Alright, that's enough of that. I was actually happier with those last set there. You can kind of see that the first one I did was a little bit slow. The second one felt a lot stronger because I really waited for that peak before shifting through just to the support position. And then the one after that was really slow. I don't remember how many I did. I think I did 3. Maybe I did 2. I don't even know. But that's enough of that for right now. good because, you know, I was watching some stuff from gold medal Aussie, gold medal, I forget what they're called. But they were talking about making sure not to lift the hand too early, that you're really feeling it, that the pressure has released from one side going into the other before you start pulling those hands up, what they call tenting. And I'm really trying to feel that prior to doing it, so that when I pull my hand up, I don't come falling over or twisting or something like that, because it's the actual right time to do it. So that's kind of my goal for the next month or so, is to really feel that the hand that's I'm trying to get off of is really kind of pulling off the ground versus throwing it off the ground. You know, it's really feeling like it's being pulled away because of the lean to the other side. All right, let's do some shoulder stretches and finish up today's training. All right, so for these stretches, I'm gonna hold each one for 1 minute. Ideally, I want to hold them for about 2 minutes, but I'm strapped for time today. So here's the 1 minute clock. Started, we're moving across, and I'm gonna lean into it. One thing I'm working on with my back full is making sure to land more upright. Yes, and getting back to doing, hi Seth. We're vlogging! Woo! Francesco's back in the game! Yeah! Seth is happy. I'm on an old GoPro. You can't see anything. It's right here. I'm not on a new GoPro where you can see everything. I'm doing this old school where you can't see anything you do until later on in the day.
What? How many more interruptions?
One more? 3 more.
2.
1.
3.
Thank you, Seth. Okay, there's at Seth the Room. Subscribe, comment, like. Chef channel, he's awesome. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do with my back full is actually land more upright, and I keep landing kind of sideways, because I never actually learned how to do 1.5 back full. I just did single, then I did double. So I really gotta get that last little bit of twist in there in order for me to feel comfortable going on. So that's my goal tonight, is a true 1.5 back full. Going so well as I'd like to right now, but I think it's because I have I'm just a little excited, antsy to try and get back to the stuff. So, but like I said before, I just have to take my time. That was a nice one, Nick. 3, 2, 1. Woo! And of course, as soon as you get off trampoline and go back to the floor, everything starts working out. Okay, so I'm driving home, and after a training session like tonight, when you really just aren't performing at all the way, you know, you wish you had hoped to. At the
end of the night, driving home, you start thinking about all the things you probably should have done to fix that problem. I definitely probably could have just stopped twisting and focused on some progressions, and it would have probably made everything so much easier. I could have stopped and done 3/4 to stomachs, 3/4 stomach half, 3/4 stomach full. I could have been working on just working on my halves and brannies. You know, there's so much you can do to make the night successful. And I don't necessarily think tonight wasn't successful. I just know I started to get into that mode of stubbornness and ego. And it's weird because when I start to get there, I can really feel my neck starting to get tense and my shoulders starting to get tense because I'm doing work that is unnecessary to build like what I really am after. So overall, I think just coming from tonight, you know, the best thing to take from it is that I have to be okay, you know, with still being bad at something. Someone's getting pulled over. Could have been me, glad it wasn't. But you know, I have to be okay with not with being bad at something again, and because that's how I learned originally. You know, it's still going to take me less time to get the skills because I've been there before, but I still have to be okay with bad days. But anyway, on the way home, reflecting after a session like this, you start realizing all the things that you were upset about, and then you're like, oh, I was really upset about that? That's kind of silly. So, anyway, the night's over. I'm about to go home. I am on my way home. And I just kind of wanted to close with this, so yeah, it's okay. Keep training.